What's up, everybody? This is Josh. He read from Practical Theism, doing a quick reflection on John 5, the gospel reading today. In today's gospel reading, we learn a bit more about kind of the title of Christ in terms of him as judge. We read that God, the Father in heaven, gave all judgment to duties, so to speak, to Jesus. And so I think oftentimes we look at judgment and we don't have a good idea of it. We think it's this kind of petty, like, oh, we're going to be judged for, these obscure little, things that make no sense, or some standard of judgment by which we don't have any kind of access to know. And I don't think that's the case at all. What justice is one of the attributes that we talk about when we talk about God. And so I think it's really, really important that we don't shy away from that. I think it's a very important topic, obviously. Everything hinges on it. We often think of judgment in terms of the final judgment, the judgment of getting into heaven. But I think there's another aspect, kind of a temporal aspect to this judgment, and that is the judgment that's passed on our sins before we go into confession and reconciliation, right? So if we have the Spirit in us and we're bearing witness, the Spirit bears witness to truth and ultimately is the helper and guider to fuller communion with God, then every time that we go to God and we actually quiet our minds, settle our spirits, and we actually seek out where we can improve and where we've fallen short, the Spirit's going to judge us. The Spirit of Christ is going to judge us. And that judgment can be a very good and pruning thing. Think of this whenever you're sick, or if you have an illness and you go into the doctor's going to pass a judgment on your condition. But it's not until you actually get the judgment that you can actually get better and do something about it. So I think that's something that we need to look at in our lives and discern what the judgment is on our current condition, so we can allow the medicine, allow the Spirit to transform us more fully into the kinds of people that we're meant to be. So we're really excited. We actually, just a side note, went to a Michael Bublé concert last night, which was awesome. I'm not sure how many of you actually know Michael's story, but he he's from Canada, and he actually went through some recent trauma, some recent suffering in his life, where his son was diagnosed with liver cancer. And thankfully, he's all right. He's cancer-free now. But this was a big, big troubling time. Kind of woke him up from, woke him up from this slumber of success, I guess, that he was having. And it changed him, is how he would put it. It changed his perspective and his viewpoint. And I think suffering has a tendency to do that. And it's not until we see that suffering in full effect that we start looking for meaning. And I think suffering can be a really powerful thing, a powerful motivation for change in a person's life. And it's funny because when you look at Michael Bublé's music, all his music, he was very, very big on this in the concert last night. But all his music is, it's very centered around love. Very centered around inclusion, respect, and it's and that's pretty cool. We don't see that today, but it's just, he's like, I just want to spread love and spread gratitude. And I think that's the first step. That's a good sign when somebody's in that place of really expanding their gratitude and really giving thanks to everyone around them. That's a good sign that some transformation has taken place. They've recognized something about the way their life was leading or being led, and there was a change, something instituted a change in their life. And I think that that's a really cool thing to see, and it was kind of on full display. I was thinking about that a lot last night. So anyways, judgment's not a bad thing. Don't shy away from it. Like, get into judgment. God is just, and he will always be just, and justice always flows from truth, which always flows from love. God wills our good, and wants what's best for us, and therefore he is a Spirit of truth. He is truth itself, and he passes judgment to help guide us in the way of love. And it always stems from God's essential character, not just character, but God's essential nature, and that is that he is love itself. So think about that this week and today, and I hope that you guys have a great Wednesday, great hump day, and fight on. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, pound the subscribe button like you mean it, so you can get more of this content, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.